Sounds right.
Snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
And we're rolling. This is my second podcast this afternoon, back to back. That's why I'm wearing literally the same outfit. So today I'm here with Tarik. Tarik, what's your last name, sir?
It's Sidiki.
Sidiki. Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. So Tarik works for Space Central, and I'm actually going to let Tarik give a little intro here. Tarik, if you want to let people know what Space Central is, and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So, Shawn, I'd like to start off with a little bit of a correction. I don't work for Space Central.
My bad.
I actually have my own company called Secure Interactive Machine,
Okay.
SIM for short. But I'm partners with Space Central, so I do a partnership with them.
Okay.
And what we do with Space Central is it's a co-creative space where we do many different kind of branding stuff, like podcasts, which we are doing right now.
Yeah.
We also do high television grade videos for people with professional green screen and a teleprompter and everything. People who may actually know about this, they're pretty excited about it. I know you are too.
Mm-hmm.
And we also do a business space where we collaborate with many different businesses, like we are with you guys over here at the Kaks bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we tell their story. So they get a chance to talk a little bit about them and who they are. And it kind of gives us a chance to really put those stories out there and kind of interact with people. It makes for a fantastic environment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I met Tarik and his partner Jim literally a few days ago, and it's kind of funny because their headquarters is across the street from us.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some kind of universal destiny thing going on, because I never met Jim prior to finding this space to launch the first podcast bar in Canada. And Jim obviously could have found a location in various buildings to launch Space Central, but we're neighbors. And right now, the business part of it works well for both of us, because my operation here is very simple. It's set up so anyone can come in to this room and have a casual environment. It just takes iPhones and a quick computer. But over there, it's like a full-on next level equipment, like literally green screens, high level movie production stuff is what we're talking about. So it kind of works out for us. If you like doing a podcast after having a casual environment here and even having just a couple of drinks, but you want to up it to that next level, head over to Space Central next door. They have so many options, from memberships to one-time fees, depending on what your production needs are. You can go hardcore, like $5,000 production to like less. It doesn't matter, but they can do it all. They can essentially do what I do here over there, but obviously we have a bar and restaurant attached. So, so right now we basically are helping each other out, and I'm gladly helping you guys out. I got really good energy from you guys, and that's why Tarik's here today. He's kind of a brand ambassadoring, as well as we're just shooting the shit as well. Right on, absolutely. Tarik, I noticed one thing off the jump was when you came into the podcast studio the other day, you were looking at the background of my computer, and you recognized Jocko Willink.
Yeah.
So right away I was like, hey, if he knows who Jocko Willink is, we're already on the same page for a lot of things. Yeah. How did you hear about Jocko Willink, and how does he affect your life?
Yeah. This was back in 2016, and I was working in a small office space for a very big company, and so I was getting into self-improvement kind of thing, and I was getting back on track with my health and going to the gym regularly and everything. And one of the things that really stood out was that jiu-jitsu was something that I was already passionate about, but then when I started to really do jiu-jitsu, it was really on when I came across Jocko Willink, and he was talking about, hey, jiu-jitsu is a superpower, and he was on Joe Rogan's podcast as well. And I was like, okay, you know what? I really got to give this a try. And I started to get into jiu-jitsu a lot more, and I started to get into fighting a lot more. At that time, I was only into guns and everything. I was a proficient shooter, but I was not a proficient fighter.
But you were a what, sorry?
I wasn't a professional fighter, but I knew how to use guns, and I had trained with the Canadian military before that. So
nice.
I had some background, but I didn't have the full range of what I needed to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So when Jocko came on the scene, it was just a no-brainer. Really, it was just okay. This guy, he does jiu-jitsu, and he was a military commander in Iraq, so it made sense for me to kind of follow the same path.
Test unit
the same
bruiser.
path.
Yeah, Navy
But,
SEALs.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
But to kind of borrow from what Navy SEALs did in terms of a team environment and apply it to myself. So before I could go and find a team, I had to go and improve myself and see how I can actually provide value to other people before I actually say, oh, you guys got to come work with me. And that was a big thing for me back in the days was, do I provide value? Am I good enough that people will actually follow me? And the obvious answer was no. I wasn't even near where I wanted to be. So I wanted to get into this position of leadership. I wanted to get into a position where I could be of someone that people would follow. So that was another big thing of it. So that's really how I got started. So
did you have his book, Extreme Ownership?
I did. I actually read it and then I gifted it to somebody. Yeah, okay. I had to do that.
Yeah. I know. We're here to talk about Space Central and your other businesses, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to talk about Jocko Willink. It's a total life improvement man. Like I he's up there for currently one of the greatest men out there. Like people, like it's incredible. And do you where do you train jiu-jitsu?
Sorry?
Where do you train jiu-jitsu?
So I trained as a white belt.
Yeah. So the gi. Okay.
Yeah, I got the gi, I got the white belt and everything. And I really only started, I'm still a novice at it, although I've been doing it for a while. But I don't really get to do it as often as I used to do. And various other things showed up. I started with my own business. So I'm doing it even less now. So it kind of plays into it. Mm-hmm. But very beginner level. And at least I can knock somebody out. I know how to do a triangle choke on somebody. I know how to drive them in the corner and kind of give them down. Yeah. But I know it's like a mindset where you are coming from the floor versus from the mid attack or from the top attack.
Well, Jocko explained it the best where he said, like, if someone is confronting you, you can run away. If someone wants to strike you, you can run away. Yeah. But if someone grabs you, you better know some jiu-jitsu because otherwise you're screwed. Yep. And right now it's like fighting has evolved to even street fighting. You're not just seeing people strike or try to take a knife and knife you. Yep. They're actually now taking you to the ground, tackling you, taking you down as a takedown, positioning themselves to strangle you unconscious. So it's kind of like you kind of need to know a little bit or at least be privy to certain techniques. Otherwise, the maniacs out there who are using this knowledge for evil, they're going to have their way with most people in society now. So it's kind of a kind of oddly scary time. But yeah, Tarik, if you're comfortable, like what gym do you train at? You don't have to name it if you're not comfortable. Like that's fine too.
Yeah, I trained at the Affinity Jiu-Jitsu on the 53rd Street in Northwest. Okay. That's where I started. Okay. And then I kind of went on solo and I started to train with a guy named Frank. Yeah. And now I'm kind of not doing anything with anybody, but I want to get back into it. Yeah. So I'll soon find a gym.
Okay, sweet, perfect. We can always roll.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I never trained. I'm the opposite of you. I never trained gi. Like I trained a lot of MMA, and so I did. I trained a lot of straight. Well, it was Muay Thai, it was wrestling, and it was jiu-jitsu. But the classes I took, primarily it was known as like freestyle jiu-jitsu class and freestyle MMA class because it was more tailored towards like all your moves are tailored towards what's it called? Martial art. I mean, sorry, I'm just someone's waving to me outside the window. Here, my barber is actually waving to me outside the window. Anyway, like it was all tailored towards like a mixed martial arts fight. Yeah. So like it's because a lot of straight jiu-jitsu moves. Yeah. There's levels to this. Like if you're just learning the straight jiu-jitsu, don't get too comfortable because they're not including the punching part, right? Have you heard of Eddie Bravo? Yeah. Yeah. So you know how he started jiu-jitsu with slaps essentially, just to kind of like make sure, because a lot of jiu-jitsu players, as they use that term, because they treat it more like a sport, like it's like they get way too comfortable in certain positions without getting hit in the face. When the reality is, if you're fighting for your life, the guy's gonna try to also punch you in the face, right?
Yeah, you gotta know some punching. And one of my buddies, shout out to TK, by the way. Mm-hmm. So he actually helped me out with trained me properly in how to punch, how to kick. Mm-hmm. So he's a Korean guy, and he really taught me how to punch and kick properly. Mm-hmm. So shout out to him, and I did that before too with Frank as well. Like we used to roll and with the punches, and I'm a southpaw, so it makes everything a little bit more interesting for people. They're like, what the heck? What do I do here? You're a southpaw. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. It changes everything. And
Yeah.
but it's like, it's I think a small percentage of people are southpaw, I think, from what I understand. Yeah.
I'm a big southpaw. My left arm is actually my stronger arm, but ironically, I got an accident on it too. So it's my weaker arm at the same time.
Really?
Like, oh my god, it hurts so much. But it's
what accident happened to your left arm?
Just a car accident.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, but it's that's just life. But you have your stronger arm as your strong arm and your weak arm at the same time, because it hurts you, and at the same time it can get you out of jam, right?
Yeah.
So, but southpaw, it really does wonders. So, like, oh my god, one guy I know, I actually got into a small kerfuffle. It wasn't like a fight or anything, but it was like just joke kind of.
Like is your friend or?
Yeah, just a friend.
Okay, yeah. Things got heated.
Things. They kind of got heated, but we were just joking around. And we're like, okay, you know more jiu-jitsu than me. Oh, okay, let's go. And we were just fighting, right?
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, you're southpaw. I don't know what to do here. I'm like, I don't know, bro. What are you talking about? Let's roll with the punches. So it kind of throws them in a loop, and it's pretty a fun thing to do. Yeah.
Who's your favorite fighter? Right? Do you watch it, or do you watch MMA? Or?
I used to watch a lot of MMA.
Yeah.
GSP was my favorite fighter because he had a whole amount. But John Jones is my favorite fighter because he can just block you, man. Like, you come in with a punch, you come in with a sweep, he just blocks you. It's like, my God, like all that energy that you're expending, it's blocked. Mm-hmm. Like, and then you can come back with a counter. It's awesome. It's just phenomenal.
John Jones, he's like him as a person. It's kind of questionable whether or not you really want to even get to know him, because he's all over the place. He's very screwed up in that way. But but at the same time, there is undeniable. He's the greatest fighter. I mean, everyone says like Khabib this, and I'm like, Khabib is good, but take a look at who John's beat. Take a look at how he's beaten them. And it's like, John uses steroids, and but I'm at this point like, look, how many other people have used steroids? I like, no offense, but if you're in there, like when the cage closed, however you got to that point, it's like, look, if he's using steroids in a weird way, that's just such another huge topic to even dive into, because if you're gonna go fight someone and you can lose your life, and he's on steroids. I mean, George St. Pierre, that was one of his biggest gripes. But at the same time, we truly don't know if George never used steroids. We're just assuming he's honest. But human beings are liars, man. Like we don't know. At the end of the day, I'm just like thinking, well, John, more or less, I'm thinking he just got caught because he's not very organized. Yeah. That's it, really. The other guys are probably taking it too. They're just organized and pass the drug test. But either way, I don't know, man. He's the greatest fighter as far as like fight IQ, like will to win. Like there's undeniable. Like John Jones is the best. 100%. But again, him as a guy, I mean, I don't want to have a beer with him. I feel like somehow, some way, he would end up like.
You admire their work, but you don't really want to.
Just too much craziness, especially the pregnant lady car accident. You heard about that one, right?
I did. It was in passing, really. I didn't really pay attention to it. Okay. But I did hear about that.
Nothing good from that story, man. It was a hit and run, dude, with a pregnant woman.
It's not really good. Yeah.
And then he went back.
Yeah. He did
to get money.
Oh shit!
And drugs that he left in his compartment.
Oh, he did.
And he bounced again, leaving a pregnant lady. But somehow he got off on all those charges. Literally, he's like, I don't know. Just again, he's it sucks, but human beings, again, if you have a talent that's undeniable and it brings value, as you were saying, to the world, life's not fair. Life's not fair, man.
I mean, just watching him, I got inspired. I was like, here's a guy. I don't really know much about him, right? I don't need to know much about him, but I admire his work.
Yeah.
Just because he's done X, Y, and Z. XYZ for you Americans out there. So what he has done is phenomenal stuff. Like he's taught me, just me visualizing how his fighting style was. It really threw me into a loop. Okay, so I was thinking that this is about just like punching, throwing a punch and really absorbing the punch. But it really is from another angle. When you look at it, it's also about blocking the punch and blocking the kick, blocking.
Yeah, his fight IQ is insane. Like it's not nothing he does is a random movement. It's and including leading up to a fight, the mental warfare. Did you watch his last fight versus Cyril Gane? When he moved up to heavyweight?
I missed that one, yeah.
Dude, it's like, because he transformed his frame. Now, he had to do it naturally this time because they absolutely monitored the fuck out of him. So, like, that's why he's not, like, shredded or whatever. Like, because, like, he obviously is retaining a lot of water because he messes with his hormones and everything. But, but he packed on a size. And when he came into the cage, it was like, at 6'4", Cyril Gane's roughly the same height. But Cyril Gane's like a natural heavyweight. That's why his muscle structure carries less fat. But John, like, he came in, like, flaring his lats. He positioned like a gorilla, like his hands, like he literally like created such a presence coming into the octagon, and when you watch them, it literally looked like he was twice as big as he was, almost like Godzilla fighting Mothra or whatever. And then Mothra like flared his his dragon wings out, and then he like, I don't know what it was, just the way he moved on Cyril, it like you could feel Cyril's fear through the TV, and then he just mauls him, corners him, positions his hips, and it just strangles him. And it was just like, I saw that wasn't just technique. There was like a weird like woo like energy. Like he just dominated him in like the meta space.
There's a lot of mental gymnastics.
There was a lot of exactly, and like I'm like that's also adds to like the skills of John Jones as a fighter. But switching a little bit of gears here, Tarik. So how did you become an entrepreneur? Like how did that come about?
Yeah, that's a very interesting story actually. I came across a guy named Ty Lopez. And
I know Ty Lopez. Yeah, he's all over YouTube. Yeah. I don't know him personally, but I've seen his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I came across him back in 2015 when he had here's my car in the garage, the Lamborghini one. Yeah. So I came across him that way, and I was like, okay, you know what? I really wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Sorry, I got to stretch my knee.
All good, man.
Go on, yeah.
So I came across him, and I really wanted to. And he said, you know what? It's really impressive that I have a Lambo, but what's more impressive is the bookshelf behind me. And I said, well, I'm already a reader. I know I read stuff anyway. Like, what's this about? Like, what's so special about reading? Like, come on, tell me.
Yeah.
So then he pointed towards Warren Buffett and how he got started in reading, and how he was 7 years old and he went to his local library and read every financial book out there. And that caught my attention. Okay, here's a guy who's clearly never worked a job in his life, or even if he has, it's clear that he hadn't. Right? I mean,
you mean physical jobs?
Yeah, he's never worked a physical job in his life, right? Warren Buffett. I mean, he's not known for his work ethic. He's known for his investor ethic, right? I mean, he still has.
He's known for his savvy and creativeness, not his. Putting in the hours
exactly like someone like Dan Penny. I don't know if you know who Dan Penny is.
I know Dan Penny, the super aggressive old dude who's like super dressed in the nines, like the guy who literally says, I don't care if your mom died in your arms, where's my report, if he's like your boss. I was like, all right, Dan Pena, man. And he talks about his army days and everything, and I'm like Dan Pena, look, he knows what he's doing, he's rich, but you know who's a way better influence than him? Jocko Willink. You know what I mean? It's like, Dad, you learn from Jocko, man. Be a little more humble, you fucking asshole. Like you think at your age, people can't whoop your ass. You know what I mean? Like talk some. Like be humble, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. It is about being humble. What's more important is I came across Robert Kiyosaki in those days.
Yeah, we literally watch all the same shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
2014, it was when it was started. So 2014, I was working as a dishwasher in Save On Foods. And funny story, I came across Dan Pena, Robert Kiyosaki, and all these, and even Ty Lopez, almost around the same time.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, working as in a job, I'm actually an electrical engineer. I have a degree in electrical engineering.
Oh, sweet.
And I did work a little bit, but it didn't really sit well with me. I went to a job, and then it didn't sit well with me. It was like something was missing.
Yeah, it wasn't your true calling.
Yeah, it wasn't. And what's really missing here? And I talked to myself. I was like, what can I do? If this is not what I want to do, what can I do? And so when Ty Lopez came on the scene, is like, oh, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to read and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, interesting. So where do I really start? The start was I needed to understand myself. What do I need to do first of all? I can read 100 books on entrepreneurship. It's not going to change anything unless I take action. But what really did it for me was that I went back into my work the next day, and I thought to myself, I'm just here, I'm working, and that's cool, right? I'm providing value, and that's totally cool. But at what level am I providing value? I'm just a dishwasher, cool. I'm just some hotshot kid in some grid station, cool. I'm working as an office assistant, cool. I'm working in a future shop as a sales guy. Cool, but what am I really doing there?
Mm.
Because I have skills, I have technical skills, and I have salesmanship skills, right?
Mm.
What am I really providing to people that's really changing lives? What is it that I'm doing that's actually doing something for the world?
Mm.
And that's what sparked me. It's like, okay, you know what? I can't do it when I'm working.
Mm.
I can't do it when I'm working for somebody else. I have to be my own guy. I have to be.
Mm.
And that's what really got me into the whole entrepreneurship journey.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, like, so it sounds like it's honestly what you just said. You basically kind of described myself. Like I was in oil and gas before, and yeah, I mean I went to school as well. I got a university degree and went to SAIT afterwards, and but it definitely didn't fulfill me at all. And on top of that, I just knew I had more like gifts and skills that I can actually make a difference in the world and to myself. For instance, like what I'm doing now. It's like you can't really teach. Talking like with a personality, like you can't really like, it's so I already knew I needed to do something like that. But what about the risk of getting away from that security?
Yeah.
Like what made you take the leap? Because nothing's certain for us entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow we like knocking on wood here, but like
anything can happen tomorrow.
anything happen,
Buy a bus.
you get hit by a bus or like your business just doesn't succeed, like for whatever reason. So like, but what made you take that risk right now? Because we're both in it, right?
Yeah,
I don't know the level of your business and Space Central's finances and whatnot or everything like that, But I'm just saying, like, as an entrepreneur, like until you're really safe, you're never really safe. You're day to day, moment to moment, figuring things out, solving problems. You're your own boss. You have to wake up, like you cannot sleep in. You can't do this. You can't do that. Like, because if your business tanks, it's on you, and it's up to you to always be evolving and growing and learning and managing yourself. And like everyone makes loads of mistakes, but right now, what made you take that risk? What made you think? What made you because the upside always sounds glamorous. But what made you deal with the downside? Because I'm sure behind the scenes you're going through a lot of stress, just like me.
absolutely. There's 100 different stresses that come with being an entrepreneur. But what really made me, there's a quote that comes to mind from Jim Rohn, and he says, "It's not about what you are doing; it's about who you're becoming."
Go on.
Right?
Elaborate.
Yeah. So when you're an entrepreneur, what happens in that moment is that you're thinking to yourself, holy shit, I'm taking this risk. I won't have anything to eat tomorrow because I don't have the money to actually go and get something.
Sometimes that's literal.
It is literal. It is literal, guys. We're not joking around here. Personal experiences, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, who are you becoming? In poverty, now I know Dan Pena says, the best thing that can ever happen to you is being born in poverty. Actually, the best thing that can ever happen to you while you're actually there is actually being born in a rich family and then going through poverty. That's the best thing that can happen to you, because your rich family will hold your hand, will actually guide you through where you need to be, take care of money, and actually pass it on like the Rothschilds did. Like the
Trumps,
right? Like the Trumps, like the Rockefellers, right? These guys knew how to pass on generational wealth. That's the best thing that can ever happen to you. So, what made me take that risk was I wanted to be that guy, because in my family is not known for generational wealth. We come from almost nothing.
Well, most 90% of families don't have generational,
right?
Maybe more.
I would say 95.
As in 99, is it only
95%.
one? As in 95%.
Yeah. I would say that. Okay. I would say so.
Like, do you want? I guess what I'm trying to say, Tarik, is like, do you have this burning desire in you to be more?
Absolutely.
Like, same here. That's what I have. That's what I couldn't shake it anymore. Yeah. Like I was comfortable with my old job and paid well and stuff, but but something in me was like, I want to be legit. Like if the Avengers was a real fucking thing, like there was a fucking guy named Thanos that came down. I want to be part of the elite to help solve that problem. Now, I mean, that's very grandiose of me to say, but I just feel like this is like the most normal I've felt in a weird way. Because when I say normal, I mean like humans are supposed to be pushing like this.
Absolutely.
Like when you're not, something's terribly missing.
Absolutely.
Like, and you don't even realize it. Like that's why most people, when they describe their day to day, more and more of them, I'm like, oh wow, what you're describing is just depression. It's like your soul is like is being like
It's crushing.
depressed.
It's
Like
crushing. It's crushing. And John D. Rockefeller is famous for saying, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. And I want to get away from that as quickly as I can. I'm a thinker. I thought about many different things. I had to go through a metamorphosis of where I was. I was a religious nut, like some people are a religion.
Which religion
is a big thing for them. But I had to evolve beyond that.
Which religion were you?
Muslim.
Muslim.
I still am, but I'm an atheist now.
Oh, okay.
But to more to that point, it's more like, so you have to evolve. You have to go beyond what you already know, and it's scary. It's scary.
Do you watch animes at all or anything?
I do, yeah.
Dragon Ball, obviously.
Yeah.
You want to go to never, like, you want to get to Super Saiyan and never stop, right?
Yeah,
like
never stop. Yeah.
Or like Pokemon, like you were a little fucking Charmander, now you want to be a Charizard, right? Like, it's like you want to evolve, man. Like it just kind of blows my mind as you look around at people that don't evolve, and they're literally the same as they were 20 years ago, but with an older body,
exactly,
and then with more of an attitude, because like you can feel that oozing of like self-loathing, and it almost has a stench to it now, where I can't be around it, like because like I know what I'm trying to do. I'm addicted to doing this. I'm addicted to leveling up, so to speak. But it comes with a cost, man, because like it's like it's not normal. Most people can't relate to it, and most people actually subconsciously, I've unfortunately came to find out, like, they don't give a fuck if you succeed. In fact they give a fuck when they watch you stressed. And I'm kind of like, that's pretty sad. Like, because I never been like that. I can honestly say I've never been like that. Like, but that's something I was like, okay, definitely God. I know you don't believe you're atheist, but like, I mean, I still believe in God and a higher power, and I've seen it. I've seen miracles work in my own life, so to speak. But no, man, it's it definitely. Let me put it this way: it's not all roses, but I'm starting to realize, how the fuck can anything ever be all roses when you look around?
Hell no. And I wanted that grind. I wanted it. I was like, you know what? Yes, like you said, to your point, you're addicted to it, right?
Yeah.
It's always that grind, like hustling. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. regardless whether I slept at 1 a.m. I still have to I still have to go to the office regardless. Oh, I gotta pay that guy tomorrow. Okay, well, I gotta get up and I gotta get this shit done. Otherwise, the guy won't get paid and I won't get what I want from it, right? So, for me, it was about giving to the world something that was never given to them before. To the people, never given to them before. I'm big into crypto. I'm big into blockchain. I'm big into cybersecurity. That's my company. So all of that stuff really culminates into, what can I do with these tools to essentially give people something that will solve a problem for them, and give me the satisfaction of saying that, oh, okay, yeah, I got the chance, I got the privilege to solve this problem for them. And that's what really drives me personally. Towards entrepreneurship, at least.
Your partner Jim, what's his story? What's his deal? How'd you meet Jim? I mean, obviously, Jim, I just met you, and he strikes me as like a underground genius kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like, he kind
of is. He kind of is a bit of a genius in terms of how like marketing and sales goes. But more importantly,
like, we're all still getting to know each other, by the way. You know, I mean, like,
100%.
But it's just like
it's an evolving journey.
But a lot of it's just energy reading. I'm just like, whoa, like this guy is. Did you see that show Last of Us? Yeah, you remember the episode where who's the funny guy? Hofferman, whatever. He played the recluse that was always preparing for it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, well, I'm not saying Jim's that's gay, but I'm saying like Jim is like, he's definitely like underground preparation guy. You know what I mean? That's the vibe I get anyway. Unless I'm way off or whatever. But
no, you're not far off. I mean, he is kind of like that personality.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, nowadays I'm living in Calgary, so I did see the production live. Yeah. I used to walk by. my where it was.
Yeah, well, scenes were filmed just around the corner here.
Just a block away. You can see them from the patio.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool to see. But yeah, no, Jim is like that, but more like for him, it's more like what can he do to kind of create something? He wants to create something that he can kind of say that it's mine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a proud thing for him, but I can see it that it's also from a point of love. Like he really loves doing what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh
Right?
yeah.
So,
Oh, he's passionate as fuck. Yeah.
So he's like,
he sold me right away.
right?
We just met the guy, and I'm sitting there like, yes, I'll get guys over to you. I've got his card here and everything. And but what he said also was logical. Like it's not like I was just like, oh, you're one hell of a salesman. I was like, everything he says logical. Yeah, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. We do it like this, and then and feedback he gave me on the food the other day was we took action right away. It made sense again. And I'm like, good, good.
Yeah, right on.
But keep going.
Yeah, but for him, it's about. To me personally, I feel that for him, it's about understanding where you're at, and then using that as an opportunity, and that's his main strength. I think personally, for me, yes, I have a long-term goal, but sometimes I can get caught up in that long-term goal, so I forget to set short-term goals, and that's a bit of. I think everybody has their weaknesses. But for me, it's like that. How I met Jim? Well, me and a few other people, we actually went to the TELUS Convention Center. That's where we actually got our start with my company, Secure Interactive Machine. And we were looking to fill up that space because the person who sponsored us, they wanted to fill up that space. So they said, hey, I'm providing this for you for free, so can you please help us out fill up the space? I said, no problem. So then I invited one of my friends, Jay, and he came in as we were having a seminar. He came in, he gave a hell of a seminar, and then the next time he came in, the second time that he came into the TELUS Convention Center, he brought Jim with him. I didn't know who he was. He introduced himself as AJ. I said, hey, what's going on? How's it going? And so it's a pun. It's a play on his own name, by the way. It's JAS, but it's AJ as well. So it's kind of like a
JAS.
Yeah, James Arnold Steele.
Steele, yeah, but it becomes of AJ. With that
AJ, like Arnold James, like James Arnold James, that kind of thing.
I don't know why it's over my head right now. Okay, cool. Keep on.
Anyway, so he came in at that time, and we started talking. I said, yeah, we have a space here, blah blah blah. The conference room was just phenomenal. Everything in that space was just phenomenal. It was this big empty space. So he said, you know what? We're over here at the CBC. I said, I used to work in the CBC like for 2.5 years. Okay, I don't want to go back to that building. He said, well, you have a space here. We have a space over there. Why don't we collaborate and do like a business sharing thing? I said, right on. And that's how we got our start in knowing each other.
Interesting. Yeah. So it sounds like, wow. It's funny how... Yeah, well, one thing I do like about Jim, just off of his meeting him right now, is just simply like his the collaboration mindset. You know what I mean? Like right now that's what needs to be done. Mm-hmm. You know, we all need each other. You know, no one can do it on their own. No one's ever been able to do anything on their own. When you really think about it. You know, like everyone, like So like I appreciate that. You know, like that sharing mentality and so I mean, I think this thing's off to a good start. We have nothing to show for it yet, but no, I'm sure the right people will attract in. Just like you're telling me, this was a fucking accident. You guys being right next door to me, you know what I mean? Like I know. So I know you don't. You say you're atheist. I don't even really know what that means because like when I've done a bunch of psychedelics and things like that, it's like dude, there's something out there, man. I know you might not.
No, there's definitely a force out there, and it's not
like our consciousness is tied to something
there's something out there for sure.
Yeah,
it's just an energy. You feel it. It's everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. But as in like man in the sky with a beard, I don't know about that, but like some energy out there for sure. I believe in that for sure, 100%. I don't think any person who's an agnostic or an atheist would at least not acknowledge that. Yeah, we know this. Like, come on, guys. It's proof is in the pudding. Come on, guys.
I suppose. Like it's some people. That's like one thing I've learned is just people's minds work so differently. Like I'm like there's some absolute odd balls, if you will, that they're just so uniquely different that it's like you can't even pin them down. You're like, wow, people like you exist. Like for instance, like in sports, like Dennis Rodman, like that's the ultimate exception to any rule. The guy doesn't take care of himself, and he thinks so differently. And yet he was one of the most impactful rebounders and defensive players in NBA basketball's history. But but nothing he does is conventional. Like, like everything doesn't make sense. It defies science. Like the guy would be doing drugs and drinking and all night and not good, having good nutrition, but they'd be working out like a maniac. Like, and his body somehow was still phenomenal. It's like, so I don't know. Like there's always whatever you call it, unique shapes in the little shape fucking toolbox or whatever. Tarik, like where are you from, Calgary or?
Originally from Toronto.
Toronto, okay.
Been in Calgary for a decade now.
For a decade, sweet.
Yeah.
Let me ask you how old you are.
I'm 34.
34?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm older than you. yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. This is the wrinkles in the side of the eyes. No. So right now, what's his like? How's business going over there, Space Central right now? Like,
business is okay. It's
okay.
Steady.
It's just starting up right now.
Yeah,
Kind of
I wouldn't say it's like excellent. That's just delusional, but
Mhm.
it's steady.
Yeah.
And people are coming in and they're seeing things. So it took a little bit. It took a year for us to really get known.
Yeah.
But it's starting to now kind of snowball slowly. It's starting to snowball.
I got a question for you with regards to that. Do you like the idea, because I was in the facility there,
Yeah.
and we'll call it a facility because it's phenomenal. But like right now, the only thing I wonder to myself is that, and I could be way off here, I'm just like this thing seems like it should be in a place like New York City.
Right?
you know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah,
or like,
Times Square.
just because my only thing is like, as I progress through just even podcasting here, I'm like, a lot of Calgarians aren't very techie at all. Like, you know what I mean? That's my only thing I was starting to really kind of notice. Like things, and I'm not really techie at all. Like I really am not. But when you start to talk to a lot of people, like they really don't know how basic tech works. And so I'm sitting there thinking like, but they all want to, they all want to be on a podcast or film some content or do this and do that. But right now I'm just thinking like I feel like your idea is so good, it should be in a bigger city. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what I feel like right now. But I could be wrong right now. That's why the only thing I was curious right now, because like I'm gonna absolutely recommend you guys to whoever. But right now, absolutely my audience primarily right now, they I think this is already enough for them to take in with the tech. But I don't know. I'm thinking of some stuff with my partner here about what we can do to like, I don't know, film like some kind of like super. Sometimes I'm thinking about like filming a little cool show segment out of there, with the green screen, because that was really neat. Like
podcast out of there is like, oh my god, this is so professional.
Yeah, it's next level. Like this is literally someone's chill ass living room. If you know.
No, this is a pretty good space too. I mean, people are walking by, they're seeing what's
it's
really
fun.
going on.
It's fun, right? It's fun, right? It's a fun little addition. Exactly. It works for my show right now, and honestly, Joe Rogan's like humble beginnings was just nothing more different than this. And I'm just sitting here like, like as long as good conversations are being had, that is the key. Mm-hmm. So what do you got going on for the rest of your weekend here, the rest of the day here? Mm-hmm.
Well, we're coming up with a new marketing campaign for our blockchain offering.
Okay.
And we also have we actually combine the two. We combine cybersecurity and blockchain.
Okay.
So you have very unique marketing stuff coming out. So I'm going to be doing some videos, and I'm going to be also doing some marketing on it on social media as well. Are you
in a rush right now, by the way?
No,
okay,
we're relaxed.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I wanna actually pick your brain a little bit on. Okay, for a second, I know you probably get this all the time, but for a second, pretend I'm a dummy that's never heard of crypto. Okay, and blockchain, like that word, but I have heard of it, but because right now I actually have another crypto. I guess he's gonna be coming on here pretty soon. I'm not gonna name his name right now. I'm not even sure. I gotta retouch base with what he wanted to do, but that whole episode is geared toward is all cryptocurrency stuff. But can you explain say I'm dumb and I'm like, this is money. You're like, hey bro, money actually works like this, and then I'm like, this is crypto. Like imagine you're explaining it to someone for the first time. Like what is it? How does this work? Like how important is it? Where do you predict it's going? And
so okay, well let me get started with the prediction, because a lot of people out there, they're thinking that cryptocurrency is this kind of like childish thing. Computers were a childish thing. Internet was the childish thing. Like it all starts off in a very niche market, and then it blows up, right? So crypto's future is bright. No matter what the governments and the people around it do to ban stuff, Binance got into a little bit of trouble with the SEC, saying that they were selling unregistered securities. that's not really true because you can't really register a security that's not really a security. But the future for crypto is very bright, very, very bright. People don't see it that way. And at one point, I actually got skeptical too. To be fair, on all angles.
Yes,
But
sorry, but like again, like what is crypto? When you, like
What
I
is
know
crypto?
what it is. Like
Yeah.
I know it's a bunch of, I know it's a form of money now, essentially that you could create from
Yeah.
your computer,
Yeah.
mining it,
yes,
and it essentially bypasses all governments.
yeah,
restriction.
government money,
Is it kind?
regulation. Yeah,
Is it kind of like, in a way, like Pogs? You remember Pogs?
yes,
Remember, like when you're a kid, like I don't know, Pogs blew up in this country. Every
Yeah.
kid had Pogs,
yeah,
and like they start trading that more than they traded like lunch and like. So it's almost like, to me, it's like they created Pogs now on the computers, and
Yeah.
they're trying to make Pogs now how you spend money, so that
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, well, let's go back to 1991 when the first paper came out for blockchain, and then from that paper spawned a burning desire for this pseudonym or whatever it is named Satoshi Nakamoto-sama, whatever, right? But really, where it stems from is a need, a desire for people to be able to get money whenever they need it.
Okay.
Right? So when this guy, the story goes like this. So Satoshi Sama, he went to, well, I shouldn't say Sama, I should say San. Anyway, I apologize for the Japanese people out there. I know a little bit of Japanese, but I'm very.
But okay, so this guy's name, he's the guy who people believe invented crypto. Right?
I don't believe that. There are many evidence that says that he didn't do it, or that he didn't exist.
Yeah,
But
there's
whatever,
evidence-
right? I mean, let's just play into what actually happened, like
Okay.
what the story is, right?
what we
What the
know.
story, what the narrative is, right? What we know about it. So Satoshi-san, he went to a bank. He got refused for a loan, and he really needed the money, and he couldn't do stuff. So he's like, okay, you know what? I just gotta invent my own money.
Oh, okay. Wow, what a thought process.
Right?
Everyone uses money. I'm just gonna bet my own
I'm just
money.
gonna make my own money. All right. So cool. That's where the need and the desire is. Okay, I want my own money. I don't want people to put conditions on my money.
Yeah.
Well, why? Because it's just money. I mean, you want to be able to use it, right?
Yeah.
Like, why not? Why can't I have as much as I want? Well, first off, gold and silver doesn't work that way because you have to mine it. But then fiat, you can print as much as you want. But the thing is that there are stipulations.
Well, that sounds stupid right now.
Oh,
And like
okay.
and I'm not an entrepreneur.
Paper money.
But what fiat means paper money?
Paper money.
Okay.
Yeah, paper money. You can print as much paper money as you want.
Yep.
But at the same time, you got stipulations. You can't steal it. What the hell are you doing if you can just print it? Like, why don't you just go and print it, right? But then the micro and the macroeconomics have to work properly. So the Keynesian economics actually sheds a light on this. I'm not a Keynesian, but I'm just like telling you how it is. So imagine you have, and I love this story. Imagine you have 10 apples, and your buddy has 5 oranges. And then your buddy says, I want your 10 apples. And you say, I want a fair trade. You say, well, okay. Maybe your buddy says, okay, well, I can give you these 5 tokens. Well, what are they good for? Oh, you can go and buy whatever you want with them. Oh, okay. Sure, no worries. So you take those tokens and you say, yeah, cool. No worries. But then you apply that same concept to, let's say, a Rolls Royce. Is Rolls Royce more important than let's say, an orange? And in that instance, yeah, maybe it is, right? It can get you from point A to point B in comfort and luxury and whatnot.
Okay, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But how do you apply that economics from fruit all the way to a luxury car, right?
Well, if you need something like money,
right? If you're dying from hunger, I think no amount of Rolls Royce can ever fulfill that.
Yeah. Of course.
So you're gonna need an apple. You're gonna need an orange at the very least, right? For nutrition. So at that point, the value of a orange or an apple will supersede the value of a Rolls Royce.
Yes.
Point, right?
Uh-huh.
However, how do you normalize that? Like you said, how you normalize that entire ledger? It's a ledger now, right? I gave you 5 oranges plus 5 tokens. You gave me 10 apples.
Yeah.
Now it's an exchange, so it's a ledger. So how do you normalize that? How do you normalize that transaction? You create something called a central bank. So it can hold all the ledgers of entire people of a country, like Bank of Canada, State Bank of Pakistan, Federal Reserve, Bank of Japan, a Bank of, what do you call it? What's another country really rich? Switzerland, right? Deutsche Bank, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So all these different banks, what they do is they centralize your ledger.
Yeah.
So the economy cannot get out of control, and that's what people. That's why people don't actually get to that. See what I'm saying? Like people don't actually understand how economy works, so they fail at it. They fail to actually get money.
I'm still like, what? Yeah. Like, but I don't expect myself to understand all these things, like because the reality is like almost everyone does. How much do they really understand about everything, right? You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
but I'm definitely I'm on board to learning more and actually partaking. I just for some reason it's like I'm still like don't really get it. I get that. Cryptocurrencies are just another alternative now because they know that real money is starting to make no sense. It's like we're gearing up for essentially like it might be a third world war to set everything back in motion because things have stopped making sense, right? It's like no matter what country, whether you're a capitalist or a socialist or communist or like whatever, your basic needs should be able to be achieved: food, shelter, clothing, right?
Exactly.
But your socialist people will be like, just give it to him. It's like, but without creating laziness. That's the key. That's the main problem with this whole thing is it's like it's been time proven over and over. That's a main human flaw.
Yes.
If you are given something, you become more lazy, man. It always feels good temporarily, just like drugs. They only feel good in the moment, but they come at a cost of like making everything harder and worse later. It's like that's why I'm like, you got to not make people lazy. That's my and like they're like, you wouldn't be lazy. They'd be free to do whatever they want. Bull fucking shit. Like it's like I've seen it now too many times. Like Serb was the biggest example. Like no one used that to try to help their bills. No one used that. Like everyone used that for drugs and alcohol. It's like go fuck yourself. And like everyone just gotten worse. Like it's just. That and then everyone got lazier. Now they developed lazy habits, and now there's this mental illness explosion because their physiology is not releasing the right chemicals anymore. Like we are a walking pleasure machine when you're not being lazy. When you work out, when you move, when you accomplish something, man. Like you just sit there and go right to the reward. It's like less and less dopamine's being hit, and people are like that's my biggest gripe with that. And like, because I can't stand lazy people anymore. I can't fucking stand them. It drives me nuts. And like, I want nothing to do with you.
I mean, if you have nothing to offer, right? It's not like that. It's like even if you can do something small, like tend to your garden, make sure that your driveway is clean, make sure that everything you're doing is properly done and done in a way that is pleasing to not just yourself but to other people. That's enough. But
being lazy is just so selfish.
Being lazy, just sitting there, not doing anything, that it doesn't work.
And then saying you're mentally ill. Like again, I don't know if you're really mentally ill or not. That's all I know is that from what we know, many people were able to handle way tougher times than what you're handling now.
Much.
And like you're telling me now you have a mental illness. Like, but again, I don't look. I'm out of line with saying what I just said because like. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, man. I just know for me, I'm happy now, and it's like because I'm always growing, and I'm like that solved almost everything, So it's just like I'm like, and I've been trying to explain to people who Jocko's been around for almost 8 years now. Like everywhere I go, it's like like, hey, this is Jocko, but then then friends and people I know who are having a tough time. Or like I'm like, but what'd you do to make it better? And then they're it's like they did fucking nothing.
Yeah.
They talked a bunch and did nothing, But sorry, man. I seem to be segueing back into that thing lately. It's just because lately I just met so many not new people, but there's people that I know are just so uninspiring. It's like I'm just tired of their whining. To be fucking honest with you, just tired of it, man. But okay, Tarik, I'm still not like what I said about crypto. Am I kind of understanding what it is? Kind of like somewhat?
A little bit,
right?
Crypto is just a different form of money. It's a way for people to keep track of things.
Okay,
right?
But we still have to convert that to classic currency to use
Yeah.
to have value. That's where I'm a bit like confused.
Yeah, see, because people go this route. They say, what if the Chinese come with a EMF bomb and just do that kind of shit?
Yeah.
That's all fantasy. They're not going to do that. The United. Have you seen the United States military lately? I mean, they're at their weakest, and then they can still wipe out somebody. They can wipe out a country like that.
Yeah, but I think the question is just more like, yes, U.S. is strong, but anyone with nuclear capabilities, like, do you really want to even risk one or two of your cities? You know, say U.S. smashes all China, just goes hams. Like, we don't care how popular you are, we don't care how long you've been preparing. Like, this is actually how we get when we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
And they come in and they smash all of China or whatever. And then, like, say China like thought they were ready to go, they've been preparing, and but when you look over there, it seems like it's going to be a completely different kind of fight. But are you still willing to risk one nuke being splattered in central
Not
LA?
really, no.
Do you know what I mean?
Right,
It's just such an equalizer. There's no one wins.
Yeah.
We don't want to play that fucking game.
Yeah.
So right now it's like So right now it's like
you gotta be sold on the idea that you can do everything electronically very fast.
So you favor that, hey?
I do because I mean it's
first thing we disagree on.
Yeah,
I think cash needs to be around. I just obviously don't. Just stop printing it right now, for fuck's sakes, because like inflation's out of control. But like, I mean, physical cash.
Yeah.
I also just at a very primitive level, dude. Like, I love holding it.
I know.
Like, there's something.
It does feel good.
It draws dopamine.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
holding a fucking $1,000, just like knowing you're like,
a lot of cash.
like we're near Vegas and you're just holding. I don't know, like. Everything just feels good. Like
money.
I don't know what it is. Like I just like here you go.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that there's no money. People gotta understand that there's no money, guys.
Yeah.
The what you're trading in is just promises.
It's debt.
It's just promises and debt. It's just, I'm gonna promise to pay this guy. I'm gonna promise to pay that guy. It's all promissory notes. If you really want to understand cash, that's what it is. But if it makes you feel good. Monopoly money I used to hold. I was like, I got this big wad of cash, right?
It's like having a nice watch.
Nice watch too, right? So when as long as we're exchanging and accepting this money for value, that's cool. I mean, you can trade promises, no problem. But it's crypto's not going to replace cash. It's going to be with cash.
But it just feels like there's going to be endless cryptos then. Like, which one do we
not
use?
Really. I mean,
didn't Elon Musk invent his own version? Everyone invented their own version. Like. It's kind of like, hey, did you ever see that movie Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah. One of my all-time favorites.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's good but bad, right?
Good but bad.
Yeah. But remember at the very end when was it DJ? Yeah, DJ was hanging out with Bison inside his, like, his pimped out man cave room. And then he's just like, here you go, DJ, payment. And then he, like, opens that case. And it's like, it's bills, but it's Bison dollars.
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there like, the fuck is this? What am I going to do with this? He's like, in 2 days, I'm going to rule the world. And I just gave you a head start, bro. Like, that is like 2 million Bison dollars or whatever. And then the teacher's just like, fuck that shit. Like, give me American dollar, and like, I just feel like in a weird way, I'm like, what? Crypto's just many Bison dollars. And like, because every other computer genius is going to be like, well, here's my crypto. And that's why I'm like, crypto. That's why that's the only thing that's kind of like confusing me with how do we all agree that everyone has to agree.
It has to make sense from an economic point of view. Ethereum does not make any sense from an economic point
Which
of view.
Which was Ethereum? Is that another crypto?
Yeah, ETH, right? Ethereum coin, ETH coin. People just take there's a gas fee involved. So all these people who are actually minting it, now they want money for it. Okay, fine. You can have money for it for every time somebody exchanges your money, but it's so expensive. It's like for just one exchange, it's gonna be like $14 for one exchange.
Okay, and again, doesn't that defeat the fucking purpose? If you're
right?
using money again
Absolutely,
to like, it's
does.
if this thing's a for real thing that took off, this is how you and I would be doing.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey, come to Kaks, Wicked. What are you serving today? Hey, have you tried our Supernova? It's a Red Bull mixed with the Cold Garden iced tea, dragon fruit Red Bull, I believe. And it's like, so you get a Red Bull iced tea kick, super tasty. And it's like, okay, give me one crypto. Like it should be like that directly, not like, okay, let me go sell my crypto here and turn it into cash. I'm like, okay, well then what the fuck was the point? Like that. That's kind of where I'm kind of confused with the whole fucking thing.
My buddy Kenny Kapiniak, he came up with a coin called Sovereign coin. And do you know Angel's Cafe down by the river?
Yeah. I like that place. Yeah.
They adopted that coin, so
Oh,
you can
sick.
actually go and pay in Sabran coin.
Okay, cool.
So how they did that was that they
Okay, but
made
again,
the
that's kind of
economic
like
shift.
that's kind of like Canadian Tire dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just at this one spot now. You have anyway.
Yeah, it really just has to make sense to you. Like, if dollars are making sense to you, which is essentially promissory notes, and if gold and silver also makes sense to you, then you just have to accept that crypto also makes sense
But
to you.
I can only deal with other people that it makes sense to.
Exactly.
In order, that's why I'm having trouble.
Yeah.
I'm like, we have to agree on this. And then now, when they're turning, I guess the yuan is going to be the most dominant currency coming up pretty fucking soon.
Apparently so.
You know, I mean, I think that, but I think from what we understand, if the yuan ends up becoming the most dominant currency, I think a third world war is going down ASAP here. That's the vibe I get. That would be like the US being like,
you can't do that.
Fuck that.
Sorry.
Bang, because it's like, get rid of that.
Yeah.
It's on, and then we're all dragged into this fucking super mess.
I don't know, man. I think that the economy, we shouldn't be going to wars over economy. That's just a really bad concept. We shouldn't be looking to dominate each other. That's just stupid. But here we see that as long as we're gonna have this bug up everybody's ass, that I want to dominate this other guy, I think we're always gonna have people coming out with unique stuff like crypto. I don't know what's gonna be the next thing. We don't really know. Maybe it's gonna be GMP, right?
What's that?
I don't know. It's some general monetary exchange or something like that.
Okay.
In Metal Gear Solid, I don't know if anybody knows Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid main currency is GMPs, general military product, gross military product. So who knows? But what it's alluding to is a fact that we have to kind of keep track of each other. What are we doing? We always have bad actors, right? So as long as we can keep track of each other, I think we can keep the economy going. But at the same time, we kind of have to have not everybody's gonna have a farm. Everybody's gonna have all these assets. But how do we keep track of each other? Okay, so we can. One guy has chicken, one guy has cow, one guy has bison, one guy has fruit. So how can we get this economy?
Do you watch Family Guy at all?
Sad to say,
no, I love Family Guy.
You love it?
I love it.
I used to love it a lot, but
I know the show's kind of changed. But there was one episode again where basically Peter, he essentially destroys society and then he rebuilds it from scratch. But then the very political thing he had a problem with, he just did the same thing.
Yeah.
He's like, the government doesn't know shit. What we really need, we need a place where people vote in a representative from their area.
Yeah.
And then that person will get together with another person from another represented area. Then they will from there fucking, discuss what the people need. Oh, we're going to call that accounts. And then he just indirectly recreated society again, in a fucking loophole, right? So I'm like, I feel like we're just... are we really doing something awesome here? Or are we kind of recreating shit over there?
It goes back to the question, right? So, what do you really like about the government? And I love these three questions, right? And by the way, Wolf of Wall Street, big shout out to you, man. Thank you for changing my life. Making me one of the best salesmen in Canada and the United States. I bet I'm the upcoming guy. Okay.
Sweet.
But so anyway, three questions. What do you really like about the system? People say, "Oh, government is so corrupt." Blah 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 blah. No, it's not. It's not corrupt. Stop looking at the corruption. You're looking at the wrong thing. Okay, and then so, what do you dislike about the system? Then they give me a litany of lists, like thousands and thousands of points. Yeah, healthcare is slow. We can't get our shit done. Blah blah blah, like 100 million things, right? And then the last question is, how would you design it yourself?
Yeah. Can you do it better?
Can you do it better?
Yeah. I don't know. Tarik, I got to wind it down here.
Right on.
And also, this room is so cozy and comfy right now. I'm kind of falling asleep too. Yeah, no, I'm you know what it is? It's the warm air with the AC and this fan, and I'm just, I'm kind of halfway there I was like, man. And also the amount of hours both of us have been logging into our crafts. Hey, thanks for coming down here. I'm going to plug Space Central, and as well, I'm going to put some of Tarik's business as well in the show notes. Hey, man, thanks. Yeah. We're going to see each other more often anyway. 100%. Literally neighbors here.
100%.
We're on Kaks Bar Podcast, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Apple. At Kaks Bar Podcast is the handle. Website is kaksbarpodcast.com for the food menu. Yes, we're opening 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. 7 days a week, starting this Monday. I'll have this by the time I have this podcast out, it'll be tomorrow Sunday. But all right, guys, come on down, try the food. You can rent the studio out at kaksbarpodcast.com. Go to the studio rental area if you want to shoot your own podcast, and it'll send you an email. It'll be email notification. To be honest, it'll come right to me and or my partner, and from there we can figure out what kind of show you want to shoot. If you want to make it complicated, you don't want to make it complicated, and if you want to make it like bells and whistles, maybe Space Central next door is your way to go. I mean, yeah. All right, Tarik, you got anything else to add?
Yeah, just come down to Kaks Bar. Their food is great. I tried the Philly steak yesterday. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It was just love. Also, the staff is friendly. Shawn is super friendly. Come say hi to him. And I would say I'm going to shamelessly plug myself here too.
Yep.
So go to Secure Machines at any secure interactive machine. Secure Machines, that's my business. And of course, Space Central, that's the thing that we're building all the businesses together. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, Kate. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.